So once again, we do have a tornado warning that is in place and potential rotation right around the city of Hagerstown, Indiana. This is tracking just north of Richmond, Indiana, but you should still be in your safe place, Richmond, Indiana, just to be on the safe side. A cluster of thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes is now moving across the state line and into northern Miami Valley into western Ohio. So that's going to be anywhere north of I-70 and along I-70. I would include Dayton to be on the safe side, should be becoming prepared for the potential of a tornado as this cluster of thunderstorms moves into the area. You can see some storms forming on the south side that may track just along I-70. If we take a closer look at the severe thunderstorm in northern Wayne County, Indiana, potential rotation right around Hagerstown. That's where the potential tornado is right now. Nothing has been confirmed. This is going to track toward New Garden, Indiana, and then eventually, if it holds up, into southern Darke County and northern Preble County, right along Interstate 70. Now this rotation is kind of messy and it is very far away from the radar, but what we do see when we're looking at this live Doppler 2 HD image is very strong winds around Hagerstown, the potential for some rotation right around here, and very strong winds coming out of that thunderstorm through Green Fork and Williamsburg, as well as close to Economy there. Severe thunderstorm safety, definitely stay indoors. This is for any severe thunderstorm and especially a tornado. Wind damage is going to be what you see the most. You're going to want to move away from any windows and move to the interior room or the lowest level, as we are tracking potential rotation right north of Hagerstown that is going to move across Wayne County, Indiana, and eventually could impact Preble County and Darke County. No, they are not in a severe thunderstorm or a tornado warning as of yet. So I'm going to go back. This is that storm right here. A lot of lightning associated with this storm as well that we are watching move across northern Wayne County. Some of those cities that could be impacted and that you're going to be in your safe spot right now, it does look like they have issued a new warning for that area as well, an updated warning. But some of the areas that will be impacted include Richmond, Indiana, Centerville, Hagerstown, Fountain City, Franklin, Greens Fork, Spring Grove, Bethel, Economy, Whitewater, Middleborough, and Interstate 70 at exit 145 in Williamsburg especially, and then does include I-70 in Indiana between mile markers 144 and up to the state line. That's going to be mile marker 156, or Ohio's mile marker 0. So basically, this is live Doppler 2 HD. We're now looking from the radar that is at the Dayton airport. Rotation isn't obvious, but you can see the reds and the greens right here indicating that there is some rotation in the upper levels of the atmosphere in this thunderstorm. Something also to point out, that's going to be right around Economy, just north of Hagerstown, is where we are seeing that, right along the Indiana County, the Wayne County, Indiana line. Williamsburg and New Garden, those are two other cities that you're going to want to take shelter from the storm immediately. That's going to the lowest level of your home or whatever building you're in, and also being away from windows. Interior room is key. You want the most walls between you and the outside. That's where we're going to see the safest environment. That's going to be Economy. It looks like there could be some large hail moving into that area as well, at least quarter size. 1 inch in diameter is going to be possible. Any rotation is going to be right here in between Hagerstown and Economy, and it's going to track right along the northern edge of Wayne County, Indiana. Williamsburg, Economy, Hagerstown, and New Garden should be in their safe spot just north of Wayne County. Bloomingport, same story. Some large hail could be moving into your area. Gusty winds are possible as well. Anywhere from 60 to 80 miles per hour are going to be possible. Golf ball sized hail was indicated on radar in this thunderstorm also. Make sure when you're headed to your safe spot, once again, some of those cities include Hagerstown. Beginning to move out of Hagerstown though, but you should still stay in your safe spot just to be safe. Some strong winds could be coming out of this thunderstorm. Economy, Williamsburg, and New Garden. You should be in your safe spot, which does mean move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest level. Avoid windows. If you're outdoors or in a mobile home, you definitely want to try to find the closest substantial shelter to protect you. Here's some of that hail. Could be up to the size our radar is estimating as high as 1.9 inches in diameter. 1.1 inches is definitely likely. That is a severe thunderstorm. Has to be at least 1 inch in diameter to be a severe thunderstorm. That's going to be between Economy and the Wayne County, Indiana line. 1.9 inches just north of the Wayne County, Indiana line possible. 1.3 inches size hail and diameter possible on the south side of the storm between Hagerstown and Dalton, Indiana. Once again, this tornado warned severe thunderstorm is in Wayne County, Indiana. It is going to continue to track east, and it may impact more areas of the Miami Valley as well as it does so. But right now, the worst part of the storm is on the far eastern side, or the far western side of Wayne County, Indiana. Far western side. It is moving about 30 to 40 miles per hour at this time. Some of the largest hail on radar now looks to be right around Economy. That's also where we could be seeing some rotation in that area between Green Fork and Economy. And I'm not 100% sure how to say that town, but Modoc, Indiana as well. It's going to continue to track that direction. Right along the northern end of Wayne County, Indiana. So far, the warning is still staying in Indiana. They have updated the warning a couple of times now. There's still a lot of lightning in this thunderstorm. Somewhere else to be keeping an eye on, especially if you live in Mercer County. You should be watching these severe thunderstorms very, very closely. We do have a tornado warning that has just been updated that butts right up to the Mercer County line near Wilshire, Ohio. I believe that's Ohio. This is going to be Arcanum, Indiana, not Ohio, and Bear Brook, Indiana. This is right along the Mercer County line. Tornado warning will be headed that direction toward northern Mercer County. We also have Bear Creek, Indiana. That's another area where a tornado is going to be. That's going to butt into Mercer County, and if this tornado warned section does continue on its path, it will be impacting Salina potentially. So that's another area that we are watching very closely. That's going to be all of our eastern counties across Ohio. So I now have the updated warning. The warning for Wayne County, Indiana is going to last until 10 p.m. That rotation is getting a little bit easier to indicate on radar. The bright green is definitely something we're watching very closely. That's just north of I-70. Some rotation could be possible right around here just to the east of Hagerstown. Now you can see estimated wind speeds anywhere from 47 miles per hour to 63 miles per hour. That gate-to-gate shear. Shear is what we're looking for when we are looking for the potential tornado. So some rotation is definitely possible right around this area in Richmond, Indiana. That is tracking east toward New Garden. If you know anyone that lives in New Garden, or if you're watching from New Garden, tell your friends, your family, it's time to be taking shelter in a safe spot. This storm, whether or not it's a tornado, the tornado is not, let me double check, it is only radar indicated, so it has not been confirmed. But these pinks on radar showing up right just to the east of Economy, that's an area where some large hail is going to be possible. That's also where the updraft of the severe thunderstorm is, and just kind of on the south end, the southwest end of that updraft is typically where a tornado does form. You can see some of the hail that this storm has potentially produced is up to 1.8 inches in diameter. That's a pretty large hailstone. That'll do damage to your roof, to your car, to your windows. It could shatter some windows. That's why you want to stay away from windows when you are taking your shelter in a safe place. That's some of the hail. This is shear in a severe thunderstorm. That's going to be, that's where the potential tornado could be. When we're seeing these yellow colors, that's shear. Shear means the winds are rotating. We have winds going around each other, and when we see that, the brighter orange does indicate that's where we're seeing some of that rotation, and that's where the potential tornado could be. That's going to be tracking just between Economy and Hagerstown. Economy being your safe spot. Right now, you should already be there. Williamsburg, that's where this is headed. It does look like Hagerstown, I'd stay there just a couple, maybe 5-10 more minutes, and then we'll check back, but it is beginning to leave Hagerstown. The more concerning area is just off to your east. That's going to be between Economy and Williamsburg. Storm Team 2 Chief Meteorologist Brian Davis is here. That's who is circling that white outline now. Yeah, that's where the rotation is. That's where we're going to have a rotating updraft, and that's where we're going to have the potential tornado that's going to continue to track toward the east, toward Williamsburg and New Garden. Those are the areas where you definitely want to be in your safe spot right now. This tornado warning is lasting until 10 p.m. So we still have a ways to go on this tornado warning. It is moving east at 45 miles per hour. Here's a storm track of the potential path of that tornado warned area. And that has the estimated time of arrival at New Garden at about 9:38. The current time is 9:27. So that's about 10 minutes estimated to get to your safe spot. You don't want to waste any time in this type of situation. You might would have time to be able to grab a helmet or some pillows or a mattress to protect you, but you don't have much time. 10 minutes is not very long when you're trying to take shelter. Williamsburg, I would cut that time in at least half just to be on the safe side. You could potentially be seeing some of those strong winds. You're going to want to be in your safe spot as well. So that's going to be Economy, Williamsburg, New Garden, any city roads or smaller townships or communities in between those areas. If these cities are sounding familiar to you, you'll want to be in your safe spot as well. It does look like it's moving just north of Green Fork and will continue to move into the Miami Valley, into the Ohio counties of the Miami Valley. So that's going to be, looks like in southern Darke County, we're already starting to see some of the heavy rainfall moving along 36 there. 121, starting to see some heavy rainfall as well. That's going to be a hint of what's to come. And we'll continue to update you, of course, with these warnings as they continue to be issued for the rest of the Miami Valley. And now this area where potential rotation is going to be right around here, right north of Green Fork, we've mapped it out, and that takes it through Williamsburg in the next 5 minutes. You should be in your safe spot. New Garden, 9:37. Right now, the current time is about 9:29. It's exactly 9:29. And so you have just under 10 minutes to get there now. The storm is moving at 45 miles per hour. Also, something that is popping out to me is we've got some of the darker pinks turning a little bit almost black there. That's going to be some very, very large hail. That's going to be between Dalton and Hagerstown. This is kind of, the hail takes a little bit while for the radar to process and update, put into the computer, so it's a little lagging on the exact spot. 2.7 inches in diameter, that would be a huge hailstone. That will definitely cause some damage. 2.7 inches in diameter, that's at least about the size of a tennis ball, if not a little bit larger, and so that's worth taking shelter alone. The tornado, of course, is not confirmed, its potential, but this hail is likely, and it will be just as damaging to some locations. Roofs, cars, roofs and cars especially, windows may be shattered. That's why we suggest you take shelter away from windows. The current update of radar indicates that that hail is likely just a little bit east of where the hail spot was. That's going to be tracking toward New Garden right now. New Garden, Williamsburg, if anyone is watching from Williamsburg, as the storm passes, if you get outside, let us know if you are seeing any of this large hail, but not right now. Right now, you should stay in your safe spot. Williamsburg, tracking toward New Garden, is where we're going to see the largest hail. That was possibly 2.7 inches. That's probably an overestimate, but you should be prepared for that, just in case. Here's some of that shear that we are watching. Not quite as strong as it once was, but something that we should mention is that this is very high up on the radar beam, and so it's getting the top of the thunderstorm. So it might be missing the part of the thunderstorm that is actually part of the rotating part of that thunderstorm. So as this continues to move closer to the radar, we'll have a better look of exactly where the strongest winds will be. But just looking at reflectivity right now, you can see right around New Garden, just to the west of there, that's where the potential for a tornado would be on the southwest side of this severe thunderstorm. The updates, the warnings are continuing to be updated just to the north or just to the west of Mercer County as well, just north of where we have been warning you. These are right now out of our viewing area. However, you can see it's going to track into Mercer County. That's going to be Rockford, Ohio, Salina, St. Henry, along 127 between Pleasant and St. Henry. This thunderstorm, you're already probably seeing the rain, hearing some thunder. Be thinking about where you're going to go once this warning, if it does get continued for Ohio. You're going to want to be ready right away to be able to take shelter and be in your safe spot. So be thinking about it right now if you live in any of these cities, if you live in Mercer County, especially between St. Henry and Rockford, northern half of Mercer County. You should be prepared to take shelter any minute now as this severe thunderstorm with the potential tornado continues to track toward your location. Right now, there are no warnings for Mercer County, but they're close. And so we want to make sure that you're prepared well in advance so that you can take shelter if necessary. Once we go back now further south, we're back in Wayne County, Indiana. This is going to be New Garden, Indiana, pink, showing up on radar. That is an indication of hail, some large hail possible right there in New Garden. That's going to continue to track toward New Madison, Ohio. New Paris is under the potential, if there's any rotation in the storm, in the potential tornado, that's going to track closer to New Paris. Large hail tracking toward New Madison. Both should be preparing to take shelter, as a warning has not been issued for you yet, but you'll want to be prepared if one does get issued. Large hail is likely around New Garden. Let me see. Golf ball sized hails, what the National Weather Service is saying is possible in this severe thunderstorm. 2 inches in diameter. That's 2 inches. That is a pretty large hailstone. You definitely want to be inside. You don't want to get hit in the head with that hail. Not a good idea. Be away from windows. That large of a hailstone, if it falls exactly right, especially away from skylights, that could be doing some damage to those as well. That's going to be there near New Garden. This storm is going to track toward New Madison in Ohio. So keep that in mind. If you are watching from New Madison, be thinking about where you're going to go once a warning gets issued for your location. It's probably safe if you just want to go ahead and go there. If you have a way to watch 2 News or get storm updates from your safe spot, just not a bad idea to go ahead and be there, even though a warning has not been issued. The storm is moving at 45 miles per hour, so now it's about 9:34. We were tracking the area of rotation to be in New Garden about this time, between 9:34 and 9:37. The hail is getting there now. If there is potential rotation where a tornado would be, that is shortly on the way. So you definitely want to be in your safe spot, once again, if you do live in New Garden. This is tracking just north of I-70. As something that a lot of people have been wondering about is the Dayton metro area. We're far from having these thunderstorms reach you, but they are tracking that direction. Right now, most of the severe thunderstorm activity and the tornado activity is expected to stay north of I-70, but a few storms forming on the back end. You can see that here, kind of out of outflow from the severe thunderstorm, could track just along I-70 and just south of I-70. If you are in Preble County, Montgomery County, those counties are part of the tornado watch. So keep that in mind. That means be prepared for the potential of a tornado and a tornado warning in your location. This New Garden right now, that's where the largest hail is. We're going to track this into Ohio. And that has estimated time taken into Middleborough, Indiana, about 9:41. Hollinsburg, I'm not 100% sure if that's Ohio or Indiana, 9:46. New Madison is Ohio, 9:52. And then Neve, 9:57. These are estimated times of arrival, estimated. So it looks like we likely have a new warning. That might still be for Indiana. But this is where we are tracking this very strong severe thunderstorm moving into Ohio right now with the potential tornado.
Yes, we're still seeing a radar indicated storm, dark Preble County now. Tornado warning has been extended east, and that will be in effect until 10:15. We don't have the hard copy printout just yet, but that's what's going to happen. We have hail up to 2
There, it
inches
sounds
in
like it
diameter
going.
being reported. We have a tornado warning now in effect for Dark and Preble counties. That is now in effect until 10:15 p.m. This is valid as of 9:36. That severe thunderstorm coming across northeast sections of Wayne County, Indiana, with hail 2 inches in diameter, possibly larger, based on some of the radar estimates there. That's moving east at 40 miles per hour. Right now located over Fountain City, Indiana, and so flying debris will be a concern here. With this tornado, we are looking at a tornado warning for northern Preble County and west central Ohio. We have a tornado warning. Let me go ahead and clear this out, and we'll show you exactly where that new warning is. Let me zoom in here just a little bit tighter. You can see that includes New Madison. Of course, Carly was mentioning that. Also, areas south of there, El Dorado, Brindley, West Manchester, Castine, Beech Grove, Arcanum. You are all in this tornado warning now with this storm that's coming out of northeast Indiana. We're giving it a long lead time here. And so this tornado, again, or this severe thunderstorm has a potential for a tornado and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. Now this is radar indicating the rotation. One thing I've noticed there while sitting with the radar, it has been moving eastward and just a little bit of south of due east. So that's a good indication we have what we call a right mover here, some rotation with this storm. And of course, this is the one out in eastern Indiana producing the hail up to 2 inches in diameter. Probably, if we have a tornado, it's going to be in this region right here on the southwest and west flank of the storm. This is usually what we call the bear cage. If you're in this, you get the hail, you get the heavy rain. All of a sudden, the weather starts to improve, and that's when the tornado hits. And perhaps we're getting